In this video, I'm going to be talking about mushrooms and its double whammy effect on immune system, especially on the adenosine pathway. So basically, a A2A receptor is a G protein coupled receptor expressed on T cells and NK cells and other immune cells. Tumors, they cause adenosine to accumulate uh, via or with the CD39, CD73 axis. So if you've seen some of my other videos, I'm just doing a quick recap on that. So what this does is that adenosine secreted by tumors binds to the A2A receptor on the immune cells, therefore suppressing immune cell activation, therefore immune exhaustion, and impaired cytotoxicity, such as reduced granzyme B and perforins. Okay, mushrooms, they have these things or compounds called beta-glucans. And what they can do is that they can shift macrophages away from an M2 phenotype. Tumors, they actually have the ability to change macrophages to an M2 phenotype. M2 phenotype actually supports tumor survival, but mushroom reverses that with the beta glucans by changing the macrophage to an M1 phenotype. The M1 phenotype actually attacks tumors. Their M1 phenotype is antagonistic towards tumors. So mushrooms makes macrophages attack tumors because the M1 is a pro-inflammatory state. Also, and beta glucans do that by binding on the dectin-1 on macrophages. Dectin-1 is also on NK cells, and this activates the SYK CARD9 NFKB pathway, upregulating IFNY. IFNY basically boosts and supports the immune system. In the tumor hostile microenvironment, tumors, they suppress immune system cells by secreting adenosine. But beta glucans in mushrooms can activate immune cells even in adenosine-rich environments. So beta glucans help immune cells overcome the A2A are mediated inhibition, or in other words, mushrooms helps overcome the adenosine from the tumor binding onto the A2A receptor on the immune cell, since by doing so, or with that binding, that suppresses the immune system. When adenosine from tumors binds to the A2A receptor on the immune cell, this actually increases this thing called CAMP. So CAMP, so that's suppressive against immune cells in the hostile tumor environment. But beta glucans, when they stimulate macrophages and dendritic cells, which are immune cells, they produce cytokines such as IFNY that counteracts that CAMP mediated T cell suppression. Another way that beta glucans helps the T cells, and beta glucans does it indirectly, is that beta glucans alters tumor associated macrophage activity, and glucans do so by reducing CD39, CD73 expression in the hostile tumor environment. By doing so, with the help of beta glucans from mushrooms, this lowers the adenosine in the tumor microenvironment. Therefore, with less adenosine around, the T cells will be a lot more functional to fight cancer cells because there's less adenosine binding to the A2A receptor on the T cell or other immune cells. Okay, when adenosine binds the A2A receptor, it actually so it increases CAMP. So what that ends up doing is that it negatively regulates T cell receptor signaling, because elevated CAMP activates protein kinase A and EPAC. Okay, now another big problem with adenosine and then upregulating CAMP is that it actually interferes with the PMAC formation. So the way that it does that is that a CAMP actually interferes with or actually disrupts the. Okay, so due to high CAMP disrupting the LFA1 affinity maturation and inside-out integrin signaling of the PMAC, because the PMAC needs the LFA1, but the CAMP from the adenosine pumped out by tumors, uh, CAMP disrupts the LFA1 in the PMAC so that the PMAC can't kill the tumor. So basically, the tumor hates PMAC. So because the PMAC is pretty much at the end of the tumor. So it seems like that the tumor knows how to or tries to attempt to dismantle the PMAC, and the tumor does that by secreting adenosine. Okay, so another negative effect of the disrupted LFA1 because of the high CAMP is that the T cells, they can't form strong immune synapses with the PMAC or maybe even with any other cells. So basically, T cells, they literally, it's like a connection or like a bridge that anchors, like let's say the T cell to a cancer cell. So that's the immune synapse. But high CAMP stops or prevents that immune synapse connection, because the T cell needs that immune synapse bridge or anchored connection in order to attack and neutralize cancer cells. Also, T cells need the synapse to connect to the PMAC as well, but that's a different topic for a different video. Okay, so another problem with high CAMP from A2A receptor because of adenosine is that it also impairs the T cell receptor, a microcluster stability, and not allowing the T cell receptor to recruit to the CSMAC. So the PSMAC and the CSMAC, they actually work together, but the tumor will not allow that teamwork between the CSMAC and the PSMAC. Also, CAMP inhibits the ZAP70 signaling pathway. That basically has to do with calcium, enabling calcineurin, and then that leads to a process where the T cells are revived if they are exhausted. So the CAMP also will suppress and will not allow T cells to revive. But a good way to help out, a good team with mushrooms is Kiwis. So Kiwis, they basically help the calcium channels in the ZAP70 pathway to allow the calcium influx to activate the calcineurin. And the way that's supposed to work is that the calcium channels are supposed to secrete or to expose. The calcium is supposed to be pumped out in slow, short, but powerful bursts. That's how it's supposed to work. And Kiwis helps with that by allowing the calcium channels to allow the calcium to be short and powerful bursts. Without the kiwi, the channel will make the calcium come out in long, weak bursts. That will not work for calcineurin to help to bring back exhausted T cells. So that's it for the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you want to see more future videos, because I have a lot more coming. Keep it locked in here on this channel, and I'll see you in the next video.